What's up, y'all? I'm Cecil. I mixed and mastered Lex in the City, Alter Ego, the Mob Psycho 100 EP, and Advanced Level Ergonomics, as well as 7 Evil Lexes. So I've been around. In Lex's orbit, I've also worked with Chris Sonko, Schaefer the Dark Lord, Dualcore, and pretty much every Michael Kill release in the last 10 years. I'm here right now because Lex asked me to peel the curtain back on some of the nuts and bolts that go into taking a track from demo all the way to stream ready. We are going to look at Pieces, the lead single from this EP, which has a super fun instrumental from Zilla Persona. The touchstone for this beat felt like synth pop, retrowave type stuff, a la Freeze Pop, who did everyone's favorite Guitar Hero 2 song. But we wanted to mash that up with the clean, upfront vocal style you'd find in a modern pop song. I just said pop a lot. Okay, that's enough talking. Let's dig into the session. Now, this track has a lot of layers, like a lot of layers. And I don't have time to go through all of them and talk about every decision. So let's clean this up a little and highlight just a few things. All right, before cracking the shell open, let's do a little A/B between the original demo that Lex sent, the final mix, and then the final master. Now, to make sure that all of these sound the same, I did some light volume matching. I had to bring the final mix down a little, and then, of course, the final master came down a lot. And that's going to help us really just focus on the tonal differences between each of these versions. To get the most out of this experience, you probably want headphones or nice speakers, or maybe Twitch is going to decimate the whole thing and nothing matters.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
All right, so I'm going to play you the original demo as it came to me, and then it's going to play through the same section in the final mix. We'll kind of listen to how they both sound.
Instant chemistry when we exchanged our pleasantries. I feel in my extremities that you're all I wanna. And when you chemistry when we exchanged our pleasantries, I feel in my extremities that you're all I wanna. And when you
It's great. So the big differences, the first things that I sort of felt as soon as the demo came in, all the like instruments sound great. There's not a ton of like tone and shaping, EQ, all that on like the sounds. Most of what we're doing is all about filling out the space, right? This came in super dry, which as a mix engineer, I love because it gives me a lot of options. But I wanted the sort of the main synthesizer and the drums and everything to have this sort of motion and this sense of space. So if we listen just to this like first couple bars and really just focus on like how big everything feels.
chemistry when we exchanged our pleasantries, I feel in my extremity. Chemistry when we exchanged our pleasantries, I feel in my
Right? It's just about making it kind of bigger, larger than life. What is there is good, and we just want to amp it up. The other main things, Lex wanted this specific vocal effect on the backing vocals.
extremities that you're all I wanna.
Right? That very distorted
That you're all I wanna.
kind of thing. And I felt after doing that there was this sort of big empty space, right?
That you're all I wanna. Extremities that you're all I wanna.
So we made this custom riser. So what I'm going to break down for you now is sort of how I gave the main synthesizer some more space, and then how I made that riser. So when I'm starting out on a mix, the first thing I do is find whatever the hero sound is. In pop vocal centric stuff, the main thing is going to be whatever the lyric is. So I usually, what's the next most important sound? And I start there. And for this song, it was definitely that main sort of square synthesizer that goes through everything. And just the first moments that it came on, I was like, that is a great sound. Right? But the first thing that I noticed is that it just comes straight down the middle. It's very mono. So let's just start adding the chain in and building the sound up. The first thing we've got here is neutron, which is just like a channel strip. And all it's really doing is just some very light kind of tone controlling. So here's without. Right, so we're kind of adding in some fullness, some low end, and then after that, compensating to bring some of the high stuff down. And that's really all this channel strip is doing. The next thing is another little EQ. And this one was all about finding stuff that is in like the vocal, or I think some of this was in the main bass tone, and just kind of pulling that out so that they didn't compete with each other. Basic mix nonsense. And then we got the fun stuff. So this is a fun little kind of delay unit, and it's got some automation. And this is the first step in creating that larger sense of space that I was looking for when the demo came in. It just makes it, right? It's spreading it out a little between your ears and then making it feel a little bit larger than life. But that wasn't enough for me. I cannot be satiated. I also added in a second stage of delay, so let's give that a listen. And that was it. That did everything I wanted. Back in the context of the original piece, we've got this.
Chemistry. When we exchanged our
And then with all that space we added on the synthesizer, we get this.
chemistry. When we exchanged our pleasantries.
That's it. It just makes everything feel bigger. The next thing is that little swell.
But you're all I wanna.
And this I had a lot of fun with. So this entire swell, which we'll just solo out and listen to on its own, sounds like this. Whooshes, right? Whooshes are a common thing in music, but what's interesting about this one is that it is all built from this sound, which is a little ad lib that we hear later in the track after the first chorus. So the first thing I did to make this was just reverse the sound. Easy. Most of the work done. I have a trick that I love to do, which is to record a really crazy piece of delay. I've got an Ableton Echo unit here. It's almost completely wet sound, and then it's boosting. What is this, like 2.6K? And we've got our time in milliseconds. This is just a fun little producery trick for you. We're going to record, and I don't have the exact delay I used in the original track, but this is the idea of how I got there, and then I'll play you the piece that was sampled in the final. Right, that's fun. So what I ended up with in the final piece was something that sounded like this. It's very good. It's very tasty. So most of our whoosh here is built out of the original dry sound, or not dry, it's reversed. The undelayed version, which is over here all the way to the left. Then we've got a couple cuts out of that delay recording. And then one of the really gnarly ones. And then just for a little extra flavor, I took some white noise and filtered it. And then we've got all together. And then in the final piece, it comes together like this. And then we found a mix that we liked, and it was time to master it. If you don't know what that is, sometimes people talk about it like it's some sort of mythical beast, or that it's a magic trick that fixes all of your stuff. But it's not. It's really just about taking a whole album and making it sound similar to itself across all the tracks, and then making the volume sort of competitive with other stuff you encounter streaming or on CD, wherever the final destination is. It's about taking your mixes, which should sound good already, and just making them sound uniform and together. So I found over the course of mastering this album that this was sort of like the main track. So a lot of the other stuff is based on this song, but I did find through some of the later songs that Pieces was sounding not quite bright enough. So let's A-B the final mix and then the master.
Chemistry, when we exchanged our pleasantries, I feel in my extremities that you're all I wanted. Chemistry.
Right? It's subtle. If the stream compression is mutilating this, you might not be able to tell the difference. But it's all like up in the top end and then making the vocals just a little shinier.
Chemistry, when we exchange chemistry.
Right, listen to the clap. That's where you might hear it the most in this part of the song.
Chemistry, when we exchange chemistry.
And that was it. Then it was done. And you've all been listening to it. And hopefully you like it. So I hope you found that interesting. If you want to see these for more of the songs or longer versions where I go even more in depth, let me know. You can find me anywhere on the internet at CecilNick, or I'm in the chat right now, hopefully. If I haven't died, I could be a ghost. Help me. That's really how I'm going to end it, eh?